ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of Darkest Dungeon. My name is Gnimsh, and this will be my playthrough. And I checked the game before I started playing it, so I was able to play a bit of it, and I read about it. And you know, it's a very cool project because in an RPG game, which is really dark, it touches upon the ancient evil. So if you played Warcraft before, you know those old gods, they're mostly the same here. But there's a lot of grinding. There's a lot of fun mechanics in the game. And that intro was really sending chills through my spine. So the old guy, who was probably related to us, he did shoot himself after seeing the horror. So we are probably not going to face it straight away, the thing that he was facing in that dungeon. But I'm excited. So without further ado, let's jump into the game and see how it looks like.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Well, there is no bravery without madness, so it seems that we are an heir to this glorious estate. It's called the Hearthstone Estate, and right now we are in the hamlet, which is the city near the estate. I believe this our estate, our mansion, is there somewhere on the hill, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I love the design of the game, the colors, the feel, so it's great. It's great, and as I mentioned earlier, I've played a bit. I did like 2 runs, and I did read about it because this game is supposedly to be very hard, and it's not like you just started, you go through the lore and you kill some monsters, then there is a boss, you kill the boss, and that's it. No, you do lose characters, you die a lot. There is a lot of opportunity for you to mess up, and already it's like getting dark. So this is pretty cool that we have actually night and day in the game. I don't think it influences the gameplay. But yeah, this is the city. So first, this is the city. This is those are the characters I have. So for you, if you well, there's a tutorial. So don't worry, there's a tutorial that I actually skipped here, where you just travel to the city of Hamlet and you try the basic mechanics. But just to let you know, this is the main city where we always start with some adventurers. We collect adventurers, we try to level adventurers, and with those adventurers we do complete dungeons. Through completing dungeons we get closer and closer to the darkest dungeon, and I can show you. Okay, I can just embark here quickly. So I will not actually embark on the adventure yet, but this episode is mostly to show you how the game works and what it's about. So here, this is the cliff where everything is situated. Like, we are on the, let's say the city of Hamlet is around here, more or less. We are just adventuring from the city of Hamlet into those places. So what do we have? We have the Weald, which is basically kind of like wilderness. And when I would be going to the Weald to go through the dungeons, I would be expecting a lot of, I don't know, saplings, like some living creatures, maybe spiders. So standard RPG-based wilderness monsters. Then we have warrens, and well, I'm not sure what to expect in the warrens exactly. I guess warrens is mostly like the war camps, kind of like the standard dungeons where you have goblins, orcs, things like that, and some chests, some hidden places, kind of like a dungeon of a castle, whatever. Then there is the cove, and this is a very interesting one because I think they have the sea monsters. So they have merfolk, murlocs, stuff like that, sirens. So we will see. And the ruins, I guess ruins is the thing which is well, ghosts, graves maybe. So where the warrens will be beneath the ground, the ruins will be above the ground. And obviously we have the darkest dungeon, which is the main thing with the portal, and we do not want to go there yet. So this is the map, which we'll be exploring through. At the moment I have 4 quests that are active, so I can go to the ruins, and here is the quest description. So this is skirmish, unholy abominations turning to light against itself. Meet them in battle and learn how they fight. The goal is complete 100% of room battles. So basically I'll show you how the fight works and everything, but basically it's just we go in the dungeon and we kill mostly all of the monsters. And this is the same thing for all 4, so I can decide where I want to go. And they are different. There are different, not only different monsters, but different things that you can expect. So for example, in the Weald, I feel like there is a lot of creatures that will try to poison us because, well, creatures, like living creatures. And in the warrens I would expect, let's say, a lot of bleed effects, because I will feel like there's people will actually attack us with swords. And in the ruins we can expect ghosts. So, and a cove, I have no idea. But we can actually choose which one is better for our party. What else is there? So there are some rewards. We can get gold, we can get crest, and we can get slippery boots. Perfect. Nothing better than slippery boots and slippery ground. But what is the crest? So we have those things here. They are called heirlooms. We have busts, we have portraits, we have deeds, and we have crests. You collect them, we collect them through the missions, through those missions in the dungeons, and with those things, with those heirlooms, we can actually upgrade the city. That we can upgrade the hamlet. Through upgrading the hamlet, we'll be able to upgrade the characters. So let's get back to Hamlet now. Harston State. Yep. So we are here in the hamlet, and what do we have? So we have the tavern, which is the main thing you want to upgrade. This is the first thing you upgrade. After finishing tutorial, go to... Wait, no, sorry. It's actually the stagecoach we want to upgrade. So the first thing you do after finishing the tutorial, go to the stagecoach and upgrade your stagecoach network. So what the stagecoach does, with the stagecoach, you have new adventurers coming every week, which is basically every mission you do. Because the missions are split into weeks, and we spend weeks on exploring everything. And you need adventurers, because those adventurers here, they will die, and they will go mad, and they will attack you. They will join enemy. They will try to backstab. They will try to steal your stuff. So you cannot get too used to them. I'm sorry. I know you want to have your character, and if you like Wilfred Fizzlebang, you want to have Wilfred till the end and go with him to the darkest dungeon. but that's unlikely. Wilfred will die eventually. I'm sure of it. So that's one thing. And with the stagecoach, we have new adventurers coming because they've heard that the dungeon is pretty cool. They want to explore it. They want the new loot. So they're oblivious of the fact that they're going to die in a couple of weeks. But we can recruit them. So this is what you want to upgrade. What else is there in the hamlet or the Hearthstone estate? So we have the tavern that I mentioned. Tavern is for stress relief. It's not active on a week 1, but just two missions, 2 missions, and the tavern will be active for you. In the tavern, you can relieve the stress. What is the stress? So characters, basically, they have statistics like health and stress. When they deal damage to your characters, they lose health, and when they do weird stuff like a skeleton just throwing a black blood from the chalice in your face, that might deal damage to you, but it also generates stress. And if Wilfred Fizzlebank suddenly thinks that he is alone in the dungeon and it's dark and everybody wants to kill him, he gets stressed as well. And at some point he can go mad. So we don't want Wilfred to go mad. We want him to be sane and still throw poisons at opposing spiders. So here you can actually get the stress relief. So as you can see, I have Mysterious Challenger in the brothel. Yep. It might be too hard for some of my viewers, but he's actually in the brothel trying the pleasures of the flesh, which means, alright, I will not explain that one. There's a gambling hall with the thrill of winning, and Bosk, who is the bounty hunter, is there at the moment. And Drink Your Cares Away is Garrosh, because I was adventuring with those guys before, and they got stressed. We did face some really weird stuff, guys, and I understand. I would probably use the bar as well at that point. What else is there? Sanitarium. In the sanitarium, we can treat quirks and things like, basically, your character has the quirks. So, for example, Northshire Cleric has a great quirk, which is Stress Faster, -100 food consumed if stress above 50, and Unerring. Basically, those are the good things. And there are the bad things. Love interest, well, might be a good thing for some people. But for Northshire Cleric, in town will only visit the brothel for stress relief. So basically, Northshire Cleric will not drink alcohol. She will not gamble. She can only go to the brothel to get the stress relief. And she's also in Necromania. I will not discuss how these two work together. But that's our Northshire Cleric. She's hardcore, I'm telling you. Then Wilfred, he's calm and he has a resolution. He will never drink, and he's really calm about it. So we can get rid of those through Sanitarium, and I'm actually treating Jaraxxus at the moment. So Jaraxxus, I don't even remember what he had. Let's see. So Jaraxxus had claustrophobia, severe fear of enclosed spaces, and you do understand that this is the dungeon crawl game. So you mostly are in enclosed spaces. That's why I cannot have Jaraxxus being, well, afraid of enclosed spaces. Fear of Eldritch, it's interesting because it increases his damage versus Eldritch. He will not hit them, which might be troublesome, but I think for now I'll just keep it. So, Sanitarium, we can heal things, we can treat the characters. There is also the Abbey, which is another stress relief, so instead of going to the brothel, we can actually pray a bit to a higher power, and well, just spend some time here to relieve the stress. And also there is the guild and blacksmith, and those two are your favorite buildings and best friends, because in a guild you can upgrade combat skills, and basically you can upgrade the guild to get the combat skills, and I can show you how it works. So for example, we have this Wilfred Fizzlebang, and he has some skills that you don't know about yet, and you can upgrade the building. If Wilfred gets, because Wilfred at the moment is level 0, Seeker, level 0, right? Like Northshire Cleric is at level 1. So Northshire Cleric, if I get my Northshire Cleric here, she has a skill already upgraded. So I upgraded her Divine Grace, so that she heals from 4 to 6. She was healing from 4 to 6, and now I feel... Oh wait, so she was healing from 3 to 5, and now she heals from 4 to 6. So it's upgraded. If Wilfred Fizzlebang goes to level 2, actually level 1, I will be able to upgrade his skills as well. So those are the buildings. And with Blacksmith it's basically the same. It's upgrading weapons. So let's say Northshire Cleric, I feel like I've upgraded her mace. So Steady Mace upgraded to 2. Those 2 buildings, the most important one for you and for me as well. Nomad Wagon, this can give us some legendary items, I believe. We can buy them from the Nomads. It's not unlocked yet for me. Ancestors Memoirs, we can just view the cinematics. And Graveyard. Let's see the Graveyard. So we already have Uther dead. Yes, I'm so sorry, Uther died. I did kill Uther. I'm not even sorry, guys. We had Vala, who was the Arbalist. She is dead as well. And Boba Fett, the original bounty hunter, is dead. And he wasn't killed by Sarlacc. That's why we have a new bounty hunter called Bosk from Star Wars. And I hope Bosk survives a bit. Alright, there is a survivalist, but it doesn't matter at this point. So, this is the city. Those are the characters. So let's quickly go through the character, how it looks like. So you know already that the character has quirks, and those are random. So when you get a new character, they can get some cool stuff, they can get some bad stuff. And, well, the more you go into dungeons, they can get more quirks that are negative. And you don't want them, you can treat them. You want the positive thing. What else is there? You have skills, and you have positioning. So basically in the game, you have your team position, which is the front, the mid lane, kind of, and the back line. And the same for enemies. The front, the back, and the mid. And with the skills, when you have the skill, the skill shows you where the character can use the skill. So for example, Mace Bash 1, when you're in the front, you can use it, and you can target characters that are in the front as well. So she would have to be in the first 2 positions, and she will be able to target those 2. And you can see it for the dots, right? It's a melee attack, and there is accuracy base 80. Accuracy means that if you have out of 100, if you have 80%, means that you have 80 to hit. And obviously there are some modifiers as well, but basically 80 is pretty good. Like you hit 80% of the time. If there are some modifiers from your opponent, it's still be like 60, 70%. So that's pretty good. Judgment, as you can see, it's nice. She is in the back, and she can hit anyone with the Judgment. It's an upgrade into Judgment. It basically deals damage. There is a damage modifier minus 20%, which means that her base damage, which is on the weapon, so you mostly deal weapon damage, which is 5 to 11 at the moment. It will be a bit less because of the minus 20%. So some skills, they have a really big minus damage modifier because they have some extra effects. For example, if there is a bleed effect, you might actually get minus 80% damage, but you have 100% to bleed to add bleed to your opponent, or maybe to stun your opponent. So there's a couple of cool skills. I will not go through all of them, but basically when you build a team, you want to have one healer at least, or some support character. You want to have a tank in the front line, and some damage dealers as well. I will explain all of that when you go into the game. So basically this also shows you where the character is the best. So if she's in this position, she can use all the skills. If she's in those positions, she will not be able to use all the skills that she has at the moment. And we get the skills while she levels. There's also camping skills. I'll not talk about camping for now. Resistances, basically when they try to stun her, she has 40% resistance to resist the stun. So all that is pretty easy. Oh, she got syphilis. That's quite unfortunate. But I'm not even surprised after the love interest Necromania. So I'm already thinking about dropping Northshire Cleric. I guess we can get a better healer at some point. There are classes as well. So Cleric is a Vestal. That's the healer class. There's the Plague Doctor, Wilfred Fizzlebang. And I had a couple of them. They are pretty good with regards to crowd control because they have this, Blinding Gas. And also here you can see that the 2 last dots are connected, which means this is an AoE attack. You can target 2 last characters in the backline with this and stun them because there's 100% stun base. Unfortunately, Wilfred Fizzlebang doesn't have it in the very beginning, as opposed to Jaraxxus, who actually had Blinding Gas when I got him into the team. So yeah, hail Jaraxxus. Jaraxxus is pretty good, but unfortunately for us, Jaraxxus at the moment is resting. What else is there in the game? So continuing with the classes, there is a leper character, which is a big tank. Bosk is a bounty hunter. Bounty hunter is pretty cool with the hook. He can hook characters, pull them to the front lines where we can kill them easier. He has some flashbang, which is a stun, a crowd control ability as well. So I really like bounty hunter for now. There's a really mysterious character, which is Mysterious Challenger. This is a jester, and a lot of people don't know how the jester. They don't know how the jester works. Jester is a weird bard, kind of like he buffs the party, he buffs specific targets, he can reduce stress during the fight, and he can add bleed effect with harvest. So this is like bleed 100% base, so it means the characters will bleed when he does that, and bleed is a dot, so the damage over time thing that will just tick every time character activates. They will take 2 points of damage for 3 rounds, 3 consecutive rounds. All right, there is also Highwayman and then Abominations. Highwayman is a ranger, like a male ranged character, and Abomination is something new. It's basically it's not a werewolf, but it's a shapeshifter, so he can change into a beast. But I haven't played with it yet. I might try it right now at this very moment. In the game, you also have the activity log, so you can see what's going on, which week are you in the game. So this means week 4, this means I had 3 weeks already, so I had 3 adventures into the dungeons, and it also logs what I did in the game, so we can have a full log. And also there are quest goals. If you feel lost, you know what to do. We have to defeat the wizened hag. I'm probably not approaching the hag yet. I feel my team is really weak at this point. There's also the trinket inventory. So during the adventures, we'll collect trinkets. Those trinkets are pretty bad for now. I'm not even wearing them because they give me -2 dodge, and I want to dodge everything. -5 max HP. I might use it, but not now. So I will be using trinkets in the future for sure. And there's also a glossary, so if you feel lost because the game is new, you can go through the glossary and see what's up. All right, let's jump into the gameplay and play 1 mission at least, so that you guys can see how it works. So those characters I can't use because they are resting, doing some weird stuff at the moment. And let's build a party. I want I guess I want this guy. So, and I can rename him as well. So this is a cool thing. I can rename characters, and I feel like all the leper characters will be warriors. At the moment we have Garrosh, so I guess we can get Gnimsh. Whoops. I will get Gnimsh here. This will be our warrior character. We can also change the color setup a bit. This is kind of okay. This is brown, but I will pretend this is red. So this will be a red orc, like brown orc, whatever. Gnimsh is brown anyway. So this is our kind of tank character, slow reflexes. Chop. That's a good damage, a single target damage ability that we can use during battle. Then there is Hue, which is a small AoE. It's 60% damage, so it's not bad. Crit modifier is 2 times, so I like it. He can heal himself with Solemnity. So he heals himself for 6, and he also gets some resist. That's pretty nice. And there's Intimidate, which is basically... Is it a taunt? Not really. It's a debuff, so you can debuff the first 2 characters that face them. So we have this guy. Now we need to get some heal and damage. So I will take Wilfred Fizzlebank, even though he doesn't have what I wanted. I will take the Highwayman, and I will take the Northshire Cleric. So with this we have a full party, and we can actually adventure somewhere. We can go somewhere. There's a tank, there's healer, there is a utility character, and there is a ranged damage guy who can do some single target damage as well. Okay, now we have to check where we go. We need deeds. We don't have that many deeds, and we can get deeds here. So in the Weald. Alright, I checked the Weald. I want provisions now. So before we go into the dungeon, we always have this step where we just buy provisions. And we can't buy everything because gold is limited. So we want to save gold. But we want to buy specific provisions for that one run. And this is part of the game. This is a survival game. It's not like just go through the quests and finish it and be done with it. It's really a lot of management of the characters, how you use them as the owner of everything, right? So for every adventure, we need food. And I think like 8 is the standard, but we can get to 10 if we feel like it's better. 10 is fine, I guess, because you can use food to restore your health as well. You can heal yourself with food. And then we have torches. We need torches because, you know, it's really dark. It's getting dark super fast, but I will probably just take 8 torches for now. And anti-venom, I think 1 is fine. Holy water. I kind of like having double holy water because during the game you are facing some weird things like shrines and some really dark stuff, and you want to pour holy water on them and collect the loot they have instead of get mad and scared and stressed. We need some bandages. I think I will take 2 even because we're going to the Weald and some weird stuff can happen there. 1 skeleton key. It opens chests. It helps us with the chests. And I guess 1 shovel. Shovel is pretty expensive, so I'll just take 1. Is there anything else? There are medical herbs as well. So with medical herbs or medicinal herbs, I think I would take 2 total into the Weald. Because from my experience, I think Weald is more about getting some corpses that you can actually cleanse with herbs as well. Maybe instead of holy water. Alright, YOLO, let's go. Let's go.